You rocking with the one and only. Like I said, I was gonna let the first production ride, but I'm gonna let you a little bit into my mind. Just cause y'all always rock with me, y'all always support. Hit that Cash App, support the movement in full. Everything we're doing. $ capital THE capital CZARR. Hit me up. Let me know. Show some love. Let me just go into it. The before and after. Guys, that's what it is. Let me explain it if you don't get it. It's about the before and after, okay? If there is knowledge beforehand, that's premeditated. So I'm searching for someone that has premeditated knowledge, not only of my travels, but of me going somewhere else, okay? Now let me get a little deeper into the before. This could be conversations, text messages, communication going on between two parties, alluding to me, even thinking of me, acknowledging me in some way, shape, or fashion before I arrive somewhere. Let's get a bit deeper. So why does the before matter? Because before we're told he went to a bank, okay? So before he goes to a bank, who's seen him go? Who was with him at this bank? Who all knew that this withdrawal was happening, okay? So they know this withdrawal is happening. Who is communicating with who during it? Phone records, a key thing they will go for. I'm telling you. And you can't erase your phone records. You can't. I go to the phone company. They have record of everything, down to the text messages. I get the before. I begin to understand the ideology, even if you're speaking in code. Guys, this is how they took the mob down. Don't you get it? It was how they took the mob down. Back then, communication was a bit different, but when I found out how you communicated, we spoke the same language. So I could see the different signs and symbols that led you to behave a certain way or to think a certain way, regardless if you were on your phone during some type of interaction doing something. You get me? This is how the mob went down. They got some records, they got some guys, hooked some people on smaller things, got them on bigger. Allegedly, who does it sound like? Michael Boatwright. He was in for something else. They brought him into that. You see what I'm saying? That's how they got connections. Sometimes they don't need a guy to open his mouth. They look at who they seen you with at a previous time and use that as a disposition to hunt down somebody who's synonymous. Let's get a bit deeper, the before. So if communication is not a solid stance, okay? I'm looking at who you hung with. That's the mob part, okay? I'm looking at your inner circle. What else am I looking at? I'm looking for odd phone calls or odd behavior. The moment I caught another name on the rental car that allegedly did it was the reason, okay, that I may not hunt after that person with the rental car, but that is the reason I would do more searching and digging into the circle you're with. Because it's never the obvious. It's always something that's outlandish. The most outlandish things will start to make the best sense in going in depth into a case. As you do research and you begin to understand, look into homicides and things, it'll start to make sense. Let's get into the middle. Even though the after, that's the icing on the cake, okay? But let's get into talking about the ingredients. In the midst, I'm leaving to the store. Why am I getting this money? That's where the before answers. Where I'm going to, that's where we're at. We're looking at all the interactions, everybody that was there, the fake witnesses, everybody doing everything, who's doing what, everybody making all sorts of choices, who's choosing to do what. We're looking at all that. That's important. But that why is going to answer the why. Certain people showed up when I see their phone records. Why do you think I keep mentioning the two fake witnesses? Why? Because not only did they have the bravery to see it reach social media, but they had the bravery to go on social media talking about being there. Oh, I heard this. The first on the scene. Oh, we were first there. Why were you? What was your relations? You're not just a fan. Stop saying that. You guys weren't just fans. You knew him in some way, shape, and fashion. You knew him, or you knew of people that could allegedly have been involved for you to show up. We're not dumb. At least I'm not. They may be, I'm not. I sat back and watched you in silence before I even called you out. You noticed. Oh, you noticed. You guys were getting heated when I was heating you up. They're like, he's on fire. I was hitting J's on you. I was just having a night. They're like, is that Jordan? I was doing y'all dirty. But it's for a reason. Because I know you're not on the witness list. You're not even being mentioned. But for some reason, you keep coming up in my mind when I look through other things. Even looking at other cases. Guys, this is not a cut and dry scenario. This is an event that has ended someone. And you could call that the finale. But I'm seeing synonymous factors in other cases. That is when you know something isn't right and doesn't make sense. Someone's not telling the truth. Now, let's say Michael Boatwright now. Let's take a quick jump to the future. Michael Boatwright has the statements. What is this going to reveal? This may not reveal the why. The suspects may already know the why because they're the alleged suspects. But this is going to tell us the middle, okay? That's how that's going to play in, okay? Now, the after effect is allegedly, this is a homicide. And these suspects allegedly have done it. Everything allegedly until a conviction happens. But let's look at this. How does this play the part? Think. Now, put on your thinking cap. All my critical thinkers, commenter nation, get what I'm saying here. The after effect. Look at the behavior. Look at who's coming out. But look at who's acknowledged when they come out. Think about it. That's where the deepness goes. Even if, let's say one of the suspects was allegedly related to someone. Yeah, we could talk about it, but that's irrelevant to the aftermath of certain actions and when they occur. You see, we're now getting the exposition off of little things I've done, of the environment, of negativity and bad vibes he was truly dealing with. The type of people around him, it didn't inspire growth. It didn't. If you're watching, you didn't inspire growth unless you were actually supporting what he did. We saw the behaviors of those who didn't. That doesn't mean they're guilty, but that does mean that you're guilty of bad character and being a bad friend. Really, it really does. But there is a deeper motive laced in what it is we're looking at. And it's so deep to the point where it even leads some of you to find reasons to blame other superstars because of drama, but unless the evidence proves so, or the suspects or other people admit so, we don't know that to be the truth. But that would be the perfect illusion for me to go chasing after a superstar because he said if something happens, it was such and such, but it was really such and such. You get what I'm saying? Everything put out there in front of you doesn't always stand as the truth, but sometimes truth is put in plain sight for you to miss it. But the way you delegate it is you trail the evidence. That leads you to your target. That's what Michael Boatwright's lawyer is doing. He's not an investigator. Why'd you think it led to the alleged investigators with funny behaviors being reprimanded? Let's be real. This is much bigger than you thought, and the interactions run deep, but the connections don't lie. They don't lie. See, that's the thing. You can create illusions. You can hold up a picture. You can throw story. The connections don't lie. And Czarr's going to give you one more jewel. I'm alleging blackmail is a powerful tool being used in this case. I am alleging that. Now, I've said many things before. I've proven many things. You guys have saw them develop after I said it. I'm telling you, remember, we talked about it. Love, envy, revenge, blackmail is a tool being used. It is. Somehow, some way, somebody in a connection's getting blackmailed. I see it. I smell it. I'm not going to tell you who. I'm not going to tell you why. But I'm telling you, and this is to the mastermind, I see it. I see exactly how it's happening. I see exactly. Matter of fact, it's so good that it almost looks like it's just, oh, this is a natural thing. I understand it fully now. You know how I rock. You know who you rocking with. All rights reserved.